We didn't wait for funding. We didn't wait for the road to clear. We moved because people were waiting. I'm Dr. Dasenech Woreda, director and the founder of READIO Ethiopia. When the Omo River flooded Dasenech Woreda, southern part of Ethiopia, tens of thousands were displaced. Health centers were gone. Children were starving. Hope was fading. So we took our backpacks and crossed river by boat, walked through a 40 Celsius heat, and we stayed for 2 full months. This is part 2 of our story, the day we reached Lib Muket IDP site and began serving a life. Let me show you what happened when the only thing we have was purpose.
For 2 months, this is where we lived. Outside, in the open, with no electricity, no running water, no communication. The sun scorched above us. Temperatures climbed beyond 40 degrees Celsius. But each day before sunrise, we packed our bags, loaded the medical supplies, and prepared to walk into the unknown. These are not roads, these are trails carved by footsteps, windswept by dust, flooded by disaster. Still, we move forward because people were waiting. At Lib Muket IDP site, the road was gone, cut off by floodwaters. So we took a boat. The journey was quiet, heavy. We carried medicine on our backs in plastic bags, praying nothing would get wet and no one would be left behind. Halfway through, a boat came from the opposite direction, fast, uncontrolled. We nearly collided, but by God's grace, we were spared. The rest of the journey, on foot, under the heat, over soaked land, through silence. We walked for hours, carrying not just medicine, but responsibility. Because this mission was never about comfort. It was about showing up, no matter the cost. After hours of difficult travel, crossing the floodwaters by boat, walking through heat and mud, carrying medicine on our backs, we finally arrived at Lib Muket IDP site. The community was waiting, displaced, exhausted, in need. We began immediately. First, we provided health education, focusing on preventable diseases, clean water, and hygiene practices that could save lives. Then we set up our triage system. Each patient was assessed and prioritized based on urgency. We treated the sick using the limited medication we carried with us. We also conducted malaria testing and gave care to those with fever and infection. Pregnant women were screened and received antenatal checkups. We distributed iron sulfate tablets to combat anemia and provided counseling on maternal nutrition and self-care. We also screened the entire mass gathering, especially children under 5 and pregnant and lactating mothers, using MUAC bands to identify cases of malnutrition. And for those who couldn't come to us, we went to them. We delivered home-to-home care for bedridden patients who were unable to walk. In every tent, on every face, we saw pain, but also hope, because for a moment, they were not forgotten.
This was just one site, one story among many. We may not have much, but we give everything what we have, and we will keep going because this is more than a mission. This is our calling. Thank you for watching. Please share this story. Help us reach those still waiting. Thank you.